While Q4 has started off with a bang and Bitcoin has reached all-time highs, Google Trends still shows the exact opposite. This tells you where people are really interested right now. The picture you see will be the same no matter what kind of cryptocurrency you look at: XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto, or any other crypto. Without a doubt, we're not even close to where we were in July and late last year. All of you who own XRP are welcome back to the crypto channel. Thanks for all the love. Let's look at today's report right away to see what's going on. The market looks great as of October 4th, early Saturday morning. In the big picture, things are going really well for the market, but there are a few coins that are going down. The market is really feeling great right now. The value of an extra piece went down by 3.0 to USD, which is 0.1%, and by 2.2 Bitcoin. It's worth $181.2 billion right now, and every 24 hours it moves for $6 billion. But let's take a look. Check out the report to see what's going on. I don't think I said the warning before, so I'll say it again. This is just a quick note. Everything on this station is never meant to help you with your money. For any business, you should always learn more about it first before putting money into it. That's why you should see for yourself. But read what Quentin has to say. Also, guys, follow me on X if you haven't already. Follow me on the link in the text box below, and I'll use X more. But you can see that CNBC says Bitcoin might be worth a lot more in 3 months. What Quentin says, on the other hand, makes me think that Bitcoin is almost at its peak. And I agree 100%, not 1,000%. If you see CNBC being very bullish on Bitcoin during a live chart analysis, you know that the top is getting close. Just so you know, it looks like we're getting closer to the end of the market cycle than the beginning of it. I totally agree with you. I think we're getting there, and more like the top of Bitcoin. You might think it's going to be in 8 or 9 months, but I can tell you it's not going to be at all. I believe we have found the right spot. We should see a drop or fake out next year after this year's high point, and that's just my guess. Though, this is based on things we've seen before, as you can see. But let's take a closer look and see what's going on. You may already know that a lot of money went into Us.Thankx. Bitcoin ETFs were worth $985 million, and Ethereum ETFs worth $233 million. It's great to see that nice flows are coming in. I also want to stress this point. Do you get it? We've already talked about the trend that lasts for years. You talk about for years. I think Bitcoin will get out of that 4-year cycle, but that doesn't mean its value won't drop. The price of Bitcoin might go down a little more, but not as much as I thought it would. This is especially true now that big businesses are getting into it. I don't believe it will go back the same distance it did before. That's what I think. Write your answer in the box below. I still believe that the bear market will have a big impact on at least 95% of the market as a whole. Guys, check out the other coins. Altcoins come in a lot of different forms. They were the ones that were watched the most during a rising market. You can choose them. The market is still going up. Some people don't believe it, but the market is still going up. But take a look at this. Remember that the SEC did not approve TechURM extra PetFed directly. The time went by, and the SEC still hadn't said yes or no to the listing. But we should keep in mind that the shutdown is affecting the ETF licenses. Go look at what happened with Light. We didn't hear anything. Eleanor said 2 or 3 days ago that she was told they were putting it on hold until the government and processes were back up and running. This is kind of related. That's where they'll take a look at these ETFs again. They have stopped now, even though the days and times have passed. But everyone is focused on that now that new listing rules have been put in place. We haven't heard anything about this or the Litecoin ETF, so the times might change. The deadline for Litecoin was October 2nd, so we didn't hear anything about it. The deadline for Ethereum was October 2nd. Post your thoughts below. But first read what Vincent has to say. The last few pieces are coming together for XRPL's institutional launch. People can't work with big banks, chains until they follow all the rules. We're almost done with the XRPPL problem. We already have proof of identity for the blockchain, AMM, and RLUSD. Permission domains, which let creators limit flows to wallets that have been KYC'd, are the LA just ain't step. Then real bank money can move. For KYC, AML, and CTF, you need a wallet that is tied to a name that can be checked. Stablecoins like RLUSD that are regulated are now live. AMM funding pots still need to be ready for big projects. On the chain, there are clearance decks and a live KYC provider. XRPL will change from retail tracks to institutional grade settlement when those are turned on. A lot of money will move. Also, not many people understand what the XRP coin is. There is a coin for the XRPL system. Again, it's used as a source of cash, and it's clear that it burns down over time. I'm sorry XRP, but that thing is just a bridge that burns down over time. Some people say that when billions of dollars flood into XRP, things can get pricey. But you can see that we talk about that. A store that has everything you need. I've talked about this on my other videos. In this case, that's very clear. But let's keep going. Goom holds XRP on purpose so that they can work with SBI. The US filing for an XRP spot ETF is being worked on right now. The stablecoin, RLUSD, which is tied to the US dollar, has now started lending and staking as a way to control itself. The Japanese picture was turned into English. Japan is really excited about Ripple. You should know that. That's something we know. It really opens your eyes to see how far SBI Holding has come with Ripple and how much they believe in the first coin, XRP. Yes, I think this is very interesting. But check out this crypto ETF that has more than 30 stocks. This afternoon, at least 30 crypto-based ETFs were sent to the SEC. The government is closed, but you can still file. Over the next few months, the SEC will get any crypto ETF you can think of. This is just the start. We don't know what will happen. We can already see that this is going to become the standard, as I told you ahead of time. Link ETF, you should know where LTC, Rex, and Osprey are going. Things are crazy right now, but Adam, you're seeing a lot of different things. There is a stake for VTF and a stake for Crow. Nah, for every bar craze. You get the idea. It will be interesting to see a huge number of different ETFs go live. But the fact that CME, September 2188 billion, 8.7 billion XRP, and 1.3 having $120 billion in open interest right now is a big number that a lot of people miss. But let's take a closer look and see what's going on with the price, shall we? It's making clear that it's going faster. That's 59, which is 10% more than where we were the night before. Like I said, Bitcoin is also a reason for this since it was proven again. It's almost at 124,000, which is the all-time high. We did more tests yesterday. Things are getting better now, but some of the steps I saw were taken back. Once more, from where Bitcoin is now, I also think it's likely to happen, even though it's the middle of the week. I also wouldn't be surprised if we hit a new all-time high this weekend. So, Bitcoin looks great, but XRP and the rest of the market are moving more slowly because of the rise in power. Don't believe me? Look at XRP now and compare it to what it was an hour ago to see for yourself. We did go up to the 3-month NN twice. We just thought of it 24 hours ago. We saw a but we got turned down, and now we're well above the $3 key band. I enjoy how nice and pretty this is. So far, things are going well. Yes, I agree that some of the longer time frames, like 320, should be tried again. It is very important to break above this point because I believe it will take us back up to 330. But we need to see what Bitcoin is doing now. It's the best thing out there. We need to be careful with Bitcoin. But I think that XRP will go back to its all-time highs if Bitcoin does. XRP broke out and went up to 310. But we should also remember that since then, the power has gone up even more. That's something we need to remember. So far, though, things are going well. This looks good to me. Please tell me what you think below. Thanks for everything you've done.